Okay, so here I have a generally finished product here, and I'll just zoom in to showcase this guy out here. Now, obviously, one moment, let me just scroll this in there so we can actually see more of it like this. I made myself a little platforming level that was sort of Sonic the Hedgehog inspired, where I have, a top path and a low path, and some bottomless pits and all that. But as you notice, each and every one of these paths is, identical in some way, and of course you'll even see some spots where I missed some bits, but that's all right. Now, do I expect you to make this guy with, as you can see already, we're on like layer 140 and all that sort of fun stuff? No, no. I mean, I expect, probably a sprite sheet that looks, like this. I've seen people do platformers, I've seen people do puzzle games, I've seen people do top-down Zelda stuff. I've seen people make tons of different things. So I made just these corners, these balls, a bowling ball, some point value, some walls, some other wall parts, some arrows, and this starry background that was broken up into 4 parts. And as you can see, it's not too complicated. I mean, I put some little effects on it, which, it's not a Photoshop class, so I don't expect you guys to know how to put these gradients and these textures on it and this little dust particle effects for this or anything. I don't expect you guys to know that. But what we did with just these not too many shapes, like a circle, a different circle, different circle, different circle, different circle, different circle, bowling ball, corner, 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 corner. This is just the same thing, just rotated. These are the same thing rotated. These are practically the same thing flipped there, mirrored as well. And this just the same thing, but it's just rotated 4 different angles. Yeah, there's not that much stuff here. There's very simple stuff. But what we made out of it was we made ourselves a like Bust-A-Move type clone game where the gets pushed down. You see where that's happening. We've got point values on these orbs here, and it's just showcasing different potential levels in a puzzle game. Like, oh, there's the bowling ball. It went through that way, and then there's what happens, what it looks like when you lose, when it crushes down completely, and oh hey, here's this last one like this, and you're so close to the end. But you can see how you can get a lot of stuff on just little information. Now, I of course made the background way too vibrant and distracting from everything else in this area, so you might want to think about that when making your own designs. But as you can see, you can just clip and snap things together. Now, obviously, if I were to have actually finished out this guidelines, it would have snapped easier and I wouldn't have had these little gaps here and there that you can see. But yeah, I highly recommend, just using these snapping tools and using these guidelines to help you out be able to do this so that everything lines up evenly in a way that will help you out. Now, previous versions of this class had us use this tile sheet and then make a code in Unity and show an animation process through it, and that's way too much for a intro level class, so we're just going to start you off with just making the sprite sheet. It's making something generally like this to then make something like this. You don't have to use a puzzle game as an example. You can make a platformer, you can make a Zelda, you can make a shooter, whatever it is you feel like making. But we're going to go from these simple shapes to just a mock-up of what the finished product would look like. Okay, it's not going to be running, it's not going to have any code, but as you can see how you can get from this to this.